Here it is, folks, the new Fujifilm GFX100 II. Bam! In your face. I love this camera. I like that it has that profile, can have convertible, we'll call it a convertible. It looks like a Sony FX3, but it's so much more than a Sony FX3 because that's a camera that really I would never use for stills, whereas this is a camera that absolutely is the GOAT for stills. And when it comes to video, well, it's no slouch. This camera honestly has everything you could want. They thought about this camera. The button placement is really good. I love the locking mode dial. This is wonderful as well, that I can just switch my custom modes and I can lock them in so I'm not accidentally moving them when it's in my bag. The other thing that's great is the placement of these 3 programmable buttons at the top. There's just so much goodness to this, and it is built solidly. These textures feel just professional and high quality. The whole camera is presented in a way that puts it above the offerings from, frankly, Canon, Sony, Nikon, and it goes into a level that where we see medium format belonging, which is with the Hasselblads, and it feels like that kind of Leica-esque quality and solidity that we expect at this price point. Now, I did take the opportunity to shoot some video with this camera, and I did go out and purchase the optional fan accessory. And the reason why is because I had previous experience with the Fujifilm X-H2S, and that camera did actually overheat on me. I haven't seen this one overheat yet. It's been very good. I did see it overheat warning once, but the camera never actually shut down. I do think one must-have accessory for this camera is the optional EVF angle adapter, and I cannot speak highly enough about this accessory because it adds such versatility to the camera when you're trying to shoot video. The build of this thing is really impressive. I was worried that it would be flimsy, but it feels like it's honed from a solid piece of steel, and I think if you hit someone with it, you would hurt them seriously. The nice thing is it can extend up to 90 degrees vertically, and probably about maybe 45 degrees or so from left to right. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing to have. And if you don't have it, you need to put it on your list because it is a must-buy for the Fujifilm GFX100 II. And the other piece I want to speak about, and I think this is important, is the Tascam XLR adapter. And this is a piece that really pays dividends because you just change out the space and you can use it with a multitude of different cameras. So this little connector digitally connects to the Fujifilm GFX100 II to give you multiple inputs to your camera with phantom power, and it sounds pretty good. One of my concerns when I first got this camera was size, and I was concerned it just wouldn't be travel friendly. I've owned the Canon series, the larger ones, the 1DX and the R3, but that removable viewfinder makes this camera actually quite travel friendly, maybe not quite as travel friendly as some cameras I own, but that's another story. And before I go, I just wanted to mention ports. They do give you an Ethernet port. I haven't used that yet. I'm sure I will at some point. And also a thank you, Fuji, a full-size HDMI port. And I'm gonna go, but I want to leave you with some footage. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. This next footage is shot with the Fujifilm GFX100 II in the internal ProRes LT422 codec. And I used the internal IBIS because I just wanted to see, frankly, how good it could actually perform. These next clips were shot with the 50mm pancake lens, and I really like this lens because of its compact size. And that small size can be attributed to the fact that this lens is an f3.5. And while that sounds slow, on a medium format censored camera, that's more than enough to blur out those backgrounds for the full cinematic effect. For those of you that are absolute bokeh freaks, these next shots are all captured with the brand new 55mm f1.7 GF lens. And that lens is absolutely amazing. Again, I don't know if I need both, but I'm going to tell you something. For me, I never shot this lens wide open, simply because I like to utilize it for compression, so when my subject is further away, I'm then using that extra speed to separate them from the background to give that cinematic pop. Now you might notice that in certain places in this footage, the exposure will jump, and that's entirely user error on my part. I messed up. But that said, I'm very pleased with the quality of footage which was recorded. By the way, all of this is internal footage, shot in ProRes LT. You know, a lot of manufacturers claim that their cameras have 14 stops of dynamic range or 15 stops or whatever, and for the most part I really do discount those claims until I see official confirmation. But I'm really thinking that in the case of this camera, it might be true. This camera might actually have a true usable 14 stops of dynamic range. Alright, so these next shots were not indeed captured with the Fujifilm, but instead they're captured with my iPhone Pro Max, which, by the way, is extraordinarily good. It might be some of the best smartphone footage I've seen to date. That's right. I think it's good enough now to make its way into my regular kit as a B-roll / C-roll camera. That's right. That's what I said. It's that good. Okay, so here I am again, back on the tripod, and I have to tell you, my two favorite ways thus far of shooting with the GFX100 II is on tripod and using the extraordinarily good IBIS boost mode. I don't know, it's a great camera. I went back and I looked at this footage, and I did scrutinize it. These shots were very much blown out to my eye. I knew that there were some things I was just going to lose in the highlights, and you know what? I bought them in the post, and lo and behold, I was able to bring back those highlights, and I was able to recover detail in the shadows too. And this, folks, is not B-RAW. This is ProRes LT recorded internally. Great Scots, have we actually reached camera perfection? Is this the one that answers all questions, that checks all the boxes? Well, hang on, there's nothing perfect. And you might see some moire on my girl's leg there. And that's because this camera does have a very high resolution sensor, which no doubt prompted Fujifilm to omit the optical low pass filter, which of course no GFX models have. So it can show some moire, but you know what? The human eye also can show some moire. It's a fact. Try it out, folks. And what does this mean? It means the camera is actually showing you things as your eyes would see them. But of course, the art of cinema isn't all about how your eyes can see things, but rather how you show your artistic presentation. So apply those skills and use this camera to its fullest, and I know what you make will be great. Well, that's all I have. Enjoy the rest, and remember to like, subscribe, and I will catch you next time.